Hello, viewer. It's great having you on the show today, and welcome to another episode of Viewpoint. It is an exciting and interactive talk show where we talk as EV. On the show, we talk about everything and anything trending, ranging from entertainment to politics, health, education, lifestyle, power of community. You just name it. All you need to do is sit back, enjoy, and engage in our conversations. My name is Hadiza Galadima, and right here with me in the studio are my amazing and gorgeous ladies, Confidence.
Hello, Hadiza. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Confidence.
And the amazing Rachel.
Hi, Hadiza.
How you doing?
Very well.
All we do on the show is spark meaningful conversations, inspire change within our community as we engage in honest dialogue. And now let's get right straight into the business of the day. Let's get started. In the words of Albert Einstein, the world is a dangerous place to live in, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who do not do anything about it. As usual, we will be discussing hot topics in Nigeria. So first, we will be speaking in reaction to the latest rule given to the EFCC and the ICPC to monitor the sales and distribution of fertilizers in Niger State. We will also be talking about the stolen runway lights at the Muritala Mohammed Airport in Lagos State. And our last topic, we will be talking about polygamy. Okay, so let's go on a short break. We will be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Now, the Niger State government has said the EFCC and the ICPC will monitor the sales and distribution of fertilizers in the state. Umaru Bago, the governor of the state, while inaugurating the 2023 wet season fertilizer sales and distribution in Mina, disclosed that the EFCC and the ICPC will monitor the sales and distribution of fertilizers in Niger State. So now the question is, have they really reduced the EFCC and the ICPC to this? When we know definitely we will have other committees and other bodies, and they will have associations that you can make them handle this kind of stuff. And other than reducing EFCC, because we have other things that EFCC really needs to put their attention and look into. So why come sell fertilizers and monitor the distribution and the sales? As in, I don't understand, EFCC, even if the EFCC is going to come into the matter, EFCC should come after maybe the sales and the distribution has gone down and they said, okay, there are corrupt practices or there's financial mismanagement and all that. That's when you call EFCC into this thing. Do you think they've really reduced EFCC and ICPC to this level? Because...
Well, personally for me, right, I like to balance things a lot. Let's not just look for those loopholes and, talk things down. From the definition of these acronyms, ICPC, corrupt practices, EFCC, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, I feel like probably they are putting them there, to supervise, to monitor whatever is going to be happening during the sales, so that probably people do not, catch away with the fertilizers, or people do not start, looking for ways to commit crimes, or I don't know. I'm just looking at it from the angle of probably maybe they needed a higher power or something.
But we have this in a better position to do that, because
but
they have other committees.
But at the same time, like what you said, it still doesn't make any sense. I mean, it shouldn't be the job of the EFCC and the ICPC. These bodies have a higher responsibility. They have other things. When I say higher, I mean, there are some things that, okay, you say you want to take to this organization and they cannot handle it, you take them to EFCC straight. So I feel like, would I say it's a case of misplaced priority? It's like, for Nigerians, or for me as a person, as a Nigerian, I feel like you're reducing them to something that shouldn't be their headache at this point. It shouldn't be what they should be doing. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from.
Sure. First of all, what do you expect in a country where we have 10 policemen following a man just to go and slaughter cow?
I knew you were going to bring that up.
Yes.
Let this thing go. Let it go, Rachel. Let it
Even
go.
if we want to allow it go, we keep having cases whereby, in fact, more humiliating cases, just like this now. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission monitoring the sales of
fertilizer.
In fact, it's not just degrading, it's I don't know how they came in terms with this whole arrangement in the first place. That's why this is Nigeria, and all of these things are not, they're like a normal thing to us.
Everything is possible.
That you see a policeman stopping a car on the road and asking, give me your papers.
Yeah.
I want, all of these forces we have. I don't know, but maybe they are trying to help themselves. I don't know. But you see a policeman doing the job of VIO, you see the VIO doing the job of FRS.
They expect that Nigerians will not disrespect them or say something bad about them.
Now imagine, they are now bringing EFCC and ICPC now into this their normal mess. For an EFCC official to be monitoring the sales of fertilizer. Is it because of the sales that is involved? Because there is sales, or maybe because there is money, that's why you have to bring EFCC in.
Yeah, because I said the governor actually had to place a subsidy on the fertilizers, because they said a bag of fertilizer goes for 24 to 30,000 naira. But because of the governor, he decided to sell it for 18,000 naira. So maybe he wants to put the EFCC and the ICPC in place in order to see that checkmate and see
but
that.
Still, there should be other.
There are other bodies. Yeah.
There should be other.
No, there are actually other there are committees.
So why
they have committees?
That was why when I started, I said let's balance it out. But in hindsight, when you keep thinking about it, it's like this thing doesn't make any sense. EFCC, what they handle mostly is financial crimes. ICPC. These people are these are bodies that have a higher responsibility. So bringing them to come and be checkmating fertilizers, for God's sake. You're a governor, you know that there are other committees that you can set up to handle these things for you. Why bring in the EFCC and the ICPC? For what exactly?
Even if the money involved is in billions,
Yeah.
If there's no crime involved, if there's no embezzlement involved, if there's no financial fraud, whatever involved, I see no reason why you should bring in EFCC. And you're not even bringing them to monitor. You're not bringing them to monitor, okay, the way the money is going.
Yeah,
make sure this person. You're bringing them to monitor the sales of fertilizer and distribution of fertilizer.
In Niger State.
Wow.
That's actually going to agree with you, because a lot of question mark. Because I was like, even if my personal thought, and I feel everybody can relate to that, because EFCC and ICPC should come after the sales and the distribution of these fertilizers, not for them to be like a first hand that, okay, is practically, they are just trying to tell us you have to go through the EFCC and the ICPC. Then what about the civil defense you had in place? What about the Ministry of Agriculture you have in Niger State and all that? So I just guess, please, our EFCC, they are way more than what Niger State is actually reducing them to. Okay, so we know our viewers will have a lot to say as regards this, and we will be waiting to hear from you. All right, so just drop your comments as regards the EFCC and the ICPC's role in the Niger State distribution of fertilizer and the sales. Okay, we would love to hear from you. We'll be going on a short break right now. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Moving to our next topic. So the recently reinstalled airfield lighting system at the domestic runway of the Muritala Mohammed Airport was stolen by unknown persons. A source who spoke in confidence said investigation has begun, and the perpetrators, who practically stole all the lighting, carried out the act while working in cahoots with some of the officials of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria by taking advantage and capitalizing on the closure of the runway for over 3 months, resulting to the suspension of several FAAN officials and security personnel in charge of guarding critical airport facilities. The question is, what can be done to curb this vandalism, considering the fact that this heinous act now happened within the people who are supposed to actually be looking out for this stuff?
Did they confirm it? Because when you started talking, it was funny to me. It's not supposed to be funny, but it was funny because when I saw the story, I was like, no?
Like, is it true?
Is this real? Have they started another series? We're done with Nigerian Air. The Nigerian Air saga. Is this a new series or what's going on? Like, how I don't want to say how possible is it, because this is Nigeria, for God's sake. Things happen.
No, apart from even that, you know.
But the question is, before they suspended this FAAN, because there were seven of them, did they confirm it? Because what we're seeing is they said they were working in cahoots. Did they, okay, they came out and said, yes, we saw them, or the CCTV caught them, or they just want, would I say, to lay blame, or they want somebody, they want
to cover up
of people
or
to, take the blame, because yes, you people were there. So how did it happen? That's why I asked, has it been confirmed that they were the ones? I'm not defending, because then again the question is, how did it happen? In an airport, the runway lights, all of them were stolen, and
no, what you're just trying to say is, for them to pull a stunt like this, it definitely has to be an inside job, because no one from outside can just come from nowhere and just want to come and steal stuff without the aid or the help of an inside person.
Security too is in question.
Yeah, because like they said, they had to like arrest the security personnel in charge of airport facilities and all that. Rachel, what's your take on this?
First of all,
yes,
this has only painted a picture of how the airport security looks like. This has only told you that we have very poor security, in places where we do not expect. The airport is not a place where you start, and it's not just anywhere. On the runway, there's still lights. I believe that there are insiders, because they said a thief will not just come in without knowing. Look, a thief will not come and rob you if he's not so sure. Yes,
the runway,
if he's not so sure that I know what I'm going for. I think there are insiders who fed those outside, and it's like a planned work. I don't know if maybe investigations, were put in place and everything. You are suspended. Yes. But I strongly believe that if it is not even insiders that carried out these operations themselves, I feel like they are the ones who planned this thing with outsiders. But again, this has only painted the picture of how the security looks like. So like
they need to really upgrade their security systems in the airport, because apart from even these runway lights or facilities being stolen in the airport, most people, I've had a couple of people complain about the airport officials or the airport staff stealing from passengers.
Yes.
My goodness gracious. You know what you just said?
Even delivery services. Yes.
They do.
You just reminded me of something right now, because like as you're talking, I'm remembering experiences of people that I know. She had this cream, is it body cream? There was something she had in her bag. She had come back, the journey was over, and then she opens the bag to discover that these guys had torn through and taken out these things. And I'm wondering, because it's not another passenger that will do that kind of a thing.
Yes.
It has to be somebody in the airport.
Yes.
And if it's somebody in the airport, it's not a stranger. It is one of these officials.
Yes, that's what they do.
And I'm asking myself, so if people's belongings are not even safe with you guys, this is not even a new thing.
Yeah.
This is not new. The facilities, the ones, because you can imagine, the ones we've not heard of, this one just came to light because probably, it was too heavy for them. What about the ones that we've not heard of? We don't know what it is that has been stolen. Some of the things that have happened there that has not even come to light. And it brings you to the point where you're wondering, what's the security like in the airport? If a passenger is going to complain that this was stolen from my bag, and this kind of thing now, you'll be talking, they'll tell you it's not them. We didn't do it.
You can't.
And like that to die down.
Government, you said something. You said maybe the reason why this one came into light. I feel like the reason why this one came into light, why they are bringing out this information, is simply because maybe the people that stole the thing, they didn't settle those that because if they settle them well, this news may not come out. Same thing with our custom service. Look, we've had people maybe smuggling in goods, and if you don't settle them well, if you don't settle this customs officers well, that's the one that will bring on the screen and say we'll burn 10 bag, we'll burn this one, we'll burn that one. The ones that they settle them, you're not going to hear PIMO. And I think it's the same thing with this airport thing right now. The reason why we're hearing about it is simply because maybe these guys did not settle the right people they are supposed to settle.
Honestly, it should not be. It shouldn't be. An airport was closed for over 3
months. That's why they capitalized on. Okay,
and then you ask yourself, because honestly, when I saw it, I was like, airports, a full airport.
Yeah.
And this one of the
busiest airports
in Lagos, and this one had time to be picking these lights. And
when, how? Like,
no,
there's
the
a lot of
runway has.
questions.
That's why the questions now will just answer you. It will actually answer you based on, okay, this place had been shut down for 3 months, so there
Hadiza.
was no activity
Hadiza.
there. That's why
Even-
it will
even-
let you know
look.
that it had to do with an insider.
Yes, Hadiza, do you
Yeah,
know
agree with
another
that.
thing I want to round up with?
Yeah.
Even houses, uncompleted buildings, when people build
Yeah,
big
they get
houses, they put
vandalized.
someone,
Yeah,
they put
yeah.
someone there to secure the place.
Exactly.
If you have the money, talk more of
An
an airport.
A
There's
busy
no how you
airport.
would say because it was closed for 3 months, there were no security operatives there to look after. No, I mean,
No, some of the security operatives was arrested or were arrested. So I feel we would love to hear from you, our viewers, because I know most of you out there, or you might know someone who had this kind of experience. I would just spoke about airport officials stealing your stuffs and all that. And what do you think as regards the stealing of the lightning on the runway? We would love to hear from you. To get involved in our social media handles. Okay, we'll go on a short break right now. We'll be back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. And now over to our last topic for today, which is polygamy. Polygamy is the practice of having multiple spouses at the same time, and polygamy is practiced in various cultures and tradition, or you could say religion. This practice can lead to complex family problem dynamics and legal issues surrounding inheritance, custody, and support. So recently, the wife of Nollywood actor Oweleketv, which is May Edochie, allegedly begins divorce proceedings against her husband. The couple have been at loggerheads over his decision to take another actress as a second wife, with whom he welcomed a second child with. Okay, so May said polygamy is a life choice and that no one should be compelled to accept it. And May also stressed that some religion and traditions also allow polygamy, and that she has nothing against it, but as a person she would not be a number to it, or she won't be cajoled to accepting a practice that does not align with her family and faith, that is her family values. So, in your own opinion, as an African society, polygamy is a well accepted practice. All right, like most, I won't even say a certain ethnic group or a certain religion or a certain culture. It cuts across almost all parts of Nigeria, whereby you get cases of polygamy. Okay, she said it doesn't stand with her family values and is against her faith, and she will not be cajoled in doing it. Okay, with all these years, I know it's never too late to work out on something you don't want, yeah? But with all these years, with all that you have been through, and all that has been thrown at you, as an African woman, I know I'm not supposed to tag her as an African woman, but it is the society we live in. As an African woman, do you think, in your own opinion, do you think May is right? But she can't be right, because as regards her own peace of mind and all that, her personal thoughts. So do you think it's okay for her to walk away from her marriage?
Okay. The first question we should be asking, or the first question everyone out there should be asking themselves is, she did not come into polygamy. Get me? She did not start with polygamy. She and you got married. He didn't marry her alongside another person. I don't know if you understand the picture I'm trying to paint. So trying to force her into that box, into accepting the fact that, okay, he has a second wife, is cruel. It's cruel. And the way he even went about it is even more pathetic. So yes, I agree with the fact that she wants to walk away. Because, I mean, this whole thing has been happening, and mind you, she has lost her first son. This whole thing, and because we're not there, you can't imagine, just ordinary, you're in a relationship and the guy cheats on you, you already know the amount of emotional trauma is going to put, the person through as a lady, or vice versa. And this lady has been through so much. We don't even know. She might not come out and because she's not been answering anybody. She's not been talking. So you can imagine the emotional, trauma that she's been through, the psychological, trauma that she's been through, the tears, those tears that she might have. Because for crying out loud, when I think about this thing, this woman has given this guy 4 children. Are they 4 children? So what exactly would be the reason? And then you hear some people come to the comment section and, they say things like, make peace with your husband. And I'm like, can you guys stop? She can't go in, she can't compress herself into a box that she didn't start with.
But she said, she said polygamy is against her family value and her faith.
Exactly.
So be it.
So be it. Fine. Then the divorce, allegedly, it's not certain, but if that's what she's going for, is divorce acceptable?
Hadiza, okay,
No,
so
it's
first
against
of
her
all,
faith. And I know her faith criticizes divorce.
Uh-huh.
So, like, okay, if your faith, just try to get me. If your faith says, I'm not going to be a part of polygamy, and your faith also says, is a no-no for divorce.
You've forgotten that there's also a part in the scripture that says, yes, God doesn't like divorce.
Okay.
Uh-huh. But it can happen on grounds of what? Infidelity.
Okay. Good. Rachel.
Okay, so first of all, there's no polygamy in this picture. I will not term this polygamy. Yes. I will not term polygamy because this is like pure deceit. This is like pure wickedness. Because first of all, although I heard stories, until you hear stories from both sides, you shouldn't just conclude. I heard stories that May Edochie, she flies out of the country to have affairs with different men. We heard that. That's like a rumor. But what we see or what we are seeing,
it's totally different.
These people were happily married, had a beautiful family.
For God's sake.
And another thing is this. Your Edochie, if you follow this story, he has been dating this woman right from. It's not a today thing. If you saw as colleagues, yes.
Work together.
Yeah.
Now, so look, the pain, even as I'm talking, Hadiza, you're maybe for instance, we are dating. And I know this lady with you. And this lady is your colleague. And I trusted you on that ground. And then all of a sudden, she's pregnant. Look, he didn't come out to tell her, I want to get married to another woman. He didn't say I'm getting married to another woman. He impregnated a woman outside. She gave birth to a child. And then he secretly went to pay her. Look, I don't term this polygamy. You secretly went to marry her, right?
But she's his wife.
Who is his wife? No, before
a man who has wife. Yes, she's his wife. A man who has 2 wives.
Can I talk?
No, you can.
You secretly married this woman. Before you married her, she was not your wife. You had a wife. This wife you had, there's no picture of you telling her, I want to marry another woman. First of all, you didn't marry her. First of all, you got her pregnant. That was the first thing. First of all, she had a baby before you went to secretly marry her. Now you married her. You now have 2 wives. And the first one is saying, I do not want this.
To be a part of it.
I do not want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I did not term it polygamy. Because if she was aware right from time, look, I go marry another wife. Even if she said, no, I don't want to have a rival. She already knows that this man wants to marry another woman. And then if you can't carry her come house, it's a different story. But you secretly did all of these things. And then you're now bringing it. How do you want her to feel? And on top of everything, she lost a son and even went. Look, I'm saying this thing with so much pain and anger in my heart. Look, this woman lost a son, a grown-up child, for Christ's sake.
Both of them lost that child.
And now that is the period you are now going on social media to do so many things with this woman. I didn't mean you came out on your own. Maybe you're now showing book and say, okay, maybe this is his own way of trying to cope with the pain. But you came out with a woman. And you're always on social media, people are singing together, people are doing things together, people are doing this together. And that woman,
just calm down, Rachel. Just
calm
calm
down.
down.
The thing is, the reason why I agree that this thing is polygamy is the fact that he has married her. And she might not be in the house, they might not be living in one roof. But the fact is that May is a first wife.
No
Judy
doubt.
is a second wife.
She was a side chick.
A side chick to a second
and
wife.
for her to come out to say that she, you know, the alleged story, the alleged news that she has started divorce proceedings. Listen, we do not know the amount of sadness that lady has gone through. In the midst of the whole fire,
cannot even imagine.
She lost a son. And it is the height of stupidity for me, for crying out loud. You lost your first
I don't want to even talk about this thing because, see, I'm getting emotional talking about it. Look, even if there are other stories.
For every time I go online, I see these two people and I'm asking myself. And then people come out to say, it's juju. For God's sake.
Which kind of juju? Even if there are other angles to this story.
Please.
The way the way
went about it.
No.
And then he comes out and you now see people outside there. Like, I'll keep saying this in anywhere I go. You see this thing about society, Africa, tradition, it is killing us as people. Actually. Because even before the advent of tradition and customs, we are human beings.
We have feelings, we got emotions.
Backing him up, telling him he's part of
Imagine if it was the woman. Okay, let's turn the table. Imagine the woman is the one doing all of this.
Definitely, it would have been a different story.
Because they say polygamy aids in gender inequality and all that. It is, and it's really, really sad because nobody wants to ever want to see a family broken. That's just it. Nobody will ever want to see a family broken because think about the kids, because it's very obvious he's not even in a good phase with his daughter because like she calls him out on the social
we talked about LGBTQ the other day. You remember, these are things.
Yes, now this girl grew up with this mentality.
What you guys do, it rubs off on the children.
Yes.
It's not you. Because you can imagine what would the thought processes of these children. Why is my daddy behaving like? If I grow up in this, I've had this.
And then if she gives marriage,
she said
they will not want to live in love. Okay, over to you, our viewers. We would love to hear your take as regards polygamy. We would really, really love to hear what you have to say as regards polygamy. All right, this is how we end the show today. And that is it on Viewpoint. We really do appreciate you and your time greatly. Okay, let's do this again. Same place, same time. We would love to hear from you. So be a part of our conversation, as always, by dropping your opinions on our comment sections. And don't forget to follow all our social media handles displayed on your screen for more exciting and captivating episodes of Viewpoint. You already know. Talk show. We dey talk as EB. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell on our YouTube channel at Oweleketv. Our website is oweleketv. Till come your way again. See you next time.